What's up everyone, and I welcome you to this video. In this video I'm going to show you guys how you can design a CD DVD envelope, or let's say a poucher. So the old way of doing this has been buying DVD cases, and then you put your design inside of the DVD cases, and then you put the actual DVD in it. Becomes too much. Alright, so we are trying to simplify the process to a way that we just print an envelope that can hold a CD on an A4 paper. Alright, so first of all, you need to design the artwork, which is the artwork of whatever you are publishing, whether it's your album, whether it's your DVD, whether it's whatever that is gonna be inside of that. And that's what we're gonna be doing in this video. So the first thing first we need to do is to actually get the design going. With that in mind, I'll get started. First thing first you need to do is you need to create a project. We're gonna give it a name, and the name is CD-DVD envelope. Okay, so once you give the project a name, then obviously you need to make sure that your width and your height has the same. So if this was 800 pixels, it means the height needs to be 800 pixels as well. By you using same number on the width and on the height, what you are doing is actually saying this from here to here needs to be the same as from here to here. Alright, so which means we are trying to create a square design. Alright, so that square design is the one that we're gonna use to create an envelope after when we are done. Okay, so in this case I'm gonna have to use 1200 pixels by 1200 pixels, and then click where it says create. Okay, so that is now the front part of the envelope. So since this is a CD, I normally like to put what we call the trademark, which is I just got it from the internet, and then we scale it down, maybe up to somewhere there, and just put it there. Now since this is a CD envelope, I will have to rename this as front. Since we are designing a CD envelope, this front part needs to contain the information about the CD that's going to be inside. So in that sense, I am going to release I'm going to release 6 or 7 backtracks that people can use, or I can sell the CDs, or I can use to distribute to people like the artist or maybe the people that I know. So whatever I'm gonna write here has to be in connection to what is going to be in the CD. So in that case, what we need to do is now say, okay, this is Global Records backtracks. Or we can even just make sure also play around with your designing and say backtracks, capital letters. Okay, so once that is done, then the next thing you need to do is you can now see if you can play around with the design itself, put some images that are in connections with the Global Records backtracks. So in that regards, what I'll do is I'm gonna go to effects and apply effects on my background. and just play around with the colors. You know, we are not like designing. I would say this is like proper designing, but this is just to get the idea. So this is the front page. If you have got a barcode, you can always put it there. That is like if you want to go big, if you want to combine ideas that are huge. But for me, as the front, maybe the only thing I can add is just one stroke here that says we come down here, we bring that down there, and then we pick that color, we paste it, and then we go to select, modify, contrast, and we contrast it by 10, and then we delete the inside, and then we select the outside, and then we delete. So instead of deleting the actual, I will just delete this corner here and see what kind of a feel that is going to give me. Okay, so that for me looks well. And the other thing that I can do is now add some few small spots that I like to add most of the times, just to spice up the design. It's almost like what you saw on the artwork of this video. So I'll just come there and put a little bit of that, and come there, randomize the sizes so that it doesn't look the same. Some must be bigger, some must be smaller. And also what we can do is go and change the color. Let's make it yellow, and also apply tiny ones close to the big ones, you know, like small boxes. And even there inside of the text, and then also go and change our color again. And let's go to blue, and then also just create some tiny dots. Just to give it a variety. Okay, now since we have got these rectangle, square, small dots, what we can do is now we can create also circles. This is just to take your ideas to the next level, but I wouldn't go that far, but I'll just do it because like my mental state is telling me to do it that way. So I'm just gonna apply also those small round dots. But the other thing I can do is now to randomize the colors so that it doesn't look so busy with the same color. And then maybe we can look at pink, a little bit of pinkish. Put some round pink dots. Create both big and small tiny dots. And that can create artwork. So now you see, this is the front of the envelope that we are working on. All right, so the front normally has that. If you were an artist, basically your artist would be this one, your artist name. Let's say your AKA, what is your name? It will be here, and this maybe will be the name of the album. Okay. And if there are record labels, let's say, you can always add here. So this time around it's PMG Music. You can always add there, and then also look at the text color itself and maybe just pick from one of these dots. Click OK, and always try to align your stuff with something, so you can align it with this. So with that, just align it with that. Okay, so this is our front. I'm gonna save this as the front. Save as desktop, and we call this front. JPEG can do well, or PDF can do as well, but I'll just save it as that. So now, since we have this as the front, what we can do is we can now go to save as, take out the word front and then just put back and then press, go on desktop and then press save. But before we do that, let's save the front again. And then let's go again, save as desktop, and we call this one back. Okay, so a lot of information goes in the back because that's where you can put now your track list. That means I need to take out this and this. And what I can do is maybe I can scale this down. But no, we can always recreate that at a later stage. And this stays there. Maybe this one can come closer to that. And then here we have got now a place where we can write the tracks that are inside of the Okay, so that is my track list. Now this comes in the back of the actual envelope of the CD. Alright, so you can always also create a small design around the text just to make it look nice. So what I'll do in that is I'm just gonna create a new layer and paste with this color here around that small box I created by pressing Alt backspace. By the way, I'm using Adobe Photoshop CC, so all these tricks are able to work even if you are not using Adobe Photoshop CC, even if you are using CS6 or the lower versions of Adobe Photoshop. So what I'll do is I'll take the opacity down of that layer. And then I'll Control J, which is almost like duplicating the layer, making a copy in other ways. Control J, that's what we use in Adobe Photoshop, but in other apps that should be Control D. And then we're gonna push this one this way. And then we're gonna zoom in so that we can align this small space. That's what happens if you don't hold shift when you are moving something inside of Adobe Photoshop. But that's just also another lesson for you as well. I mean, like, alright, so once that is done, then we're gonna control click on this part so that we are able to select only the surrounding edges. Okay, and once we do that, we are able now to change the color of this, which now we can pick from this one and then just say Alt backspace, and then we have got something that looks different in its own way. Now if it's too intense with this text, then all you need to do is go again to that layer number 4, and take down the opacity here to 10. And you can do the same thing on this layer as well, the opacity to 10. So that is our track list, right? And now you got so much space here where you can give credits to each and every one. That's normally what you write at the back of your CD or DVD pouch. So what I'll do is I'm just gonna write some credits.
Possibly be to love her, understand her. Mommy, you will see that she's the one for me. No other woman can be, she holds my key. Mama, you will see no one else can be what she's to me, she is my dove. Yes, mama, she's my love. Chikazi chimene ndapeza ineo. Oh, kukongola
kwake ndi nyenyezi tita. Chikamabwera ngati kubwera ndege. Aliyese kuchiyang'ana. Masamu ake mutazeza timpozi. Aliyese kuchipoilila. Masamu ake mutazeza timpozi. Aliyese kuchibwekelela. Chimene ndapeza ineyo. Kukongola kwake ndi nyenyezi tita. Chikamabwera ngati kubwera ndege. Aliyese kuchiyang'ana. Lelo mbuyo ndiyanka wandipasa nkazi. Lelo mbuyo ndiyanka. Lelo mbuyo ndiyanka.
That is done. Since we are working on creating what we call the envelope, I would say for the start, for the demonstration of how you can create an envelope, an DVD or CD envelope, I would say this is fine. Anything else that you want to add here, then you can always add. And I'm just gonna go and open also this front part, which is here. So this was our front and this is our back. So we got the front saved and now we have to save our back. And this is going to be like save as desktop, then we go to JPEG, and then since we got the front and this is the back, then we save. Okay, so now it is the exciting part. Now the exciting part is whereby you have to bring those two elements and create an envelope. All right, so without wasting time, I'm going to create a new project. And now we have to know that since we are going to print, we need to know what paper are we going to use. So in this case, I'm going to use an A4. So we're going to create a CD pouch or maybe a CD envelope on an A4 paper. All right, so we click on A4 and then create. Okay, so this is how basically an A4 looks like. So without wasting time, I'm going to go on my desktop and then I'm going to take envelope back, and then holding command or holding control on Windows, I'll take the top one, which is the front, and then I'll take also the back. But these are JPEGs and these are the project files, so I don't mind using the JPEGs for now. Then I'll drag them inside of my A4, which is inside of Adobe Photoshop. Okay, so now as you can see, the back and the front. But the thing about this design is that you cannot see where the design is ending, since our backdrop here is white. So what I can do is I can create a stroke effect around both of these designs just to make them visible that the design is ending there. And also what I can do here, do the same thing and create a stroke effect to just allow us to see that the design is ending somewhere there. Okay, so that is that, and that is the front. So this, as you can imaginally look at this front and look at the back, is the same thing, same size, so it matched nicely. But if you were to print on a paper, you will need to fold it. This needs to come to the back, this needs to come to the front. But you don't have to print in a way whereby you have to cut also later on with a scissor and then this goes. No, what you can do is you can rotate this right now 90 degrees, and then click OK. Then you know that whenever you're gonna fold, this is gonna be the front and this is gonna be the back without cutting the middle section here. So now what we can do on that, then now we're gonna have to create what we call the lips of the envelope. Okay, so I'll need to scale up, make them bigger, and then center them up, put them on the center. Take our bottom element, try to push it up a little bit. Now if you want to create more of a boxy like, I would say I'll explain that in my next video. In this video, all you need to do is just take this up and have a tiny little middle section here. Okay, now once that is done, we need to create our lips. So our lips is now that part of the envelope that opens, and you put the CD inside and then you close. So we're gonna have some here, and some on top here. Okay, so what I will need to do in that is I will just need to take this section of these small dots as part of the design and then cut it. Okay, so I'll take the top one, which is the front page, and then Ctrl J, which is duplicating. Then I will rotate it, and then I'll bring it somewhere there, and I'll put it behind, and then you can see that we have that lip. And then what I can do as well is take the same and then Ctrl J again, and then move it to the right. Now there are times when Photoshop is auto selecting layers. So if I click on this layer, you will see that it's going to select this. If I click here, it's going to select this. That happens when you enable this part, auto select. So it selects whatever you click on. Right now it can't select where I click because it's off. So that's just a trick that I use also inside of Adobe Photoshop. So like now I can select the bottom one, which is the back cover, or I can select the main cover, or I can select this lip here, and then I can duplicate the lip itself, which I think I have already done, but I just need to move it. Play around and just see if it looks closer. Okay, and then once we switch this one on, then you realize that this side is a little bit more out than this side. So we can try to shift out and see how does it look right now, and try to shift out again, more or less. Okay, so these are the lips of the envelope from the wings. Then now we need to put one on top here, which is now this is gonna be the closing lip of the envelope. So you can at least try to use this backdrop so that whenever you close that part, a person can see this, because that's gonna be now in the back. So what you might need to do right now is to duplicate, which is Ctrl J, and then rotate it. Now you have to understand why am I rotating it. I'm gonna rotate it so that it matches this. Whenever this envelope closes, a person should be able to read. Okay, so we're gonna take that up, and then we will put that behind everything, and then we can scale it down here and there. All right, so with that said, then obviously you can now see that the envelope is done, but we can still do certain things that will make our work easier. So in this case, I'm going to actually select this one, the lip itself, then rasterize it, and then come here and rename this the top lip. Okay, and then I can come to this one and call it right lip. And then I can also select the left one here, and then I'll call it left lip. Okay, so there is this word that is showing off there that can become a problem. So what we can do is we can just rotate the whole left lip, because this obviously is going to be inside, so it doesn't matter actually. So I think, but then just for the sake of the design, I would say that's perfect. And what we can do now, we can take the top lip and then just cut out. Somewhere there. And then now we have got the envelope. Now as you can see, I have done this from the scratch, from the actual design to bringing it into this what we call the CD envelope, making it fit on A4. I've done that all by from scratch, from zero. So what I can urge you to do is, if you are failing to understand a certain part of this whole video, then I would say try to rewatch it again, and I mean like watch it like 3 or 4 times, and then from there what you can do is you start absorbing these ideas in a way that are more practical to yourself. Alright, so the top lip needs to be cut again, but that's how we design the CD or DVD pouch or envelope inside of Adobe Photoshop. Now I have to say like, I didn't expect that the tutorial would turn out this way, but the tip that I can give to you is, with the same thing that you did, if you are releasing a DVD, if you are putting out a DVD of videos, then you know that these will be like the names of your tracks, these will be like your thanks, this logo has to be DVD digital, so it's not gonna be digital audio, because this is now for CD. Then you will need to get something for DVD. Alright, so with that in mind, then hopefully this video tutorial has created so much change in your workflow. If you like what you've learned, I would say drop a comment, and also what you can do is try to subscribe to the channel, so that whenever I've got another video like this one, you will be notified. You will know when am I dropping something, or when I have dropped something. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you now, once this has been printed out, how it looks, so that you can have an idea of how it looks like once you have done the printing. So with that in mind, what I'll do is I'm gonna go to Save As, and this time around I'm gonna pick PDF and then save. Now remember, we are printing on an A4. So since we are printing on an A4, then we will still need to have time to cut. Now if there is a machine that can cut this, then I would say it's a lifesaver, because let's say you are releasing 600 CDs and you want to print them out with this method. Obviously it's going to take you longer to cut out these white parts so that an envelope is created. But I think for a startup artist, like an artist that you are just starting up, or maybe any project that you're working with that is on a low budget, I would say this can help you a lot, because then you are able just to buy a laser or something that we use to cut, and then put a ruler, and then you just cut around these lines, making sure that all these outside areas are not there. You are only left with this envelope. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna print this specific one, and then when the printing is done, I'll cut it, I'll glue it out, then I'll show you how it looks using a picture. So thank you guys for watching. Let me do what I can to get the final product printed so that I can show you guys. And also with the same technique, what you can do is you can just take this front part and then print it on the top of the CD so that the design matches. That's also another tip. So let's say we go out, and this is my PDF here. I'll just give it a name as well. So Pasha Media CD DVD album. And then we open that. Once that is open, then all you need to do is go to print. On your print settings, make sure that you choose A4, and if you want to print in high quality or lower quality, that's going to depend on you. But then I think for a demonstration purpose, I'm just going to select print. And then I'll go and cut, and then when I'm back, I'm going to show you guys how it looks like. I'll take pictures for the final product. Let me just switch on my printer here. And then once that is done, then we know that we have created our envelope. Alright, stay tuned. Let's meet on the outside.